This is local development areas located at the Kentucky Transpark, and is a certain tract of land lying in Warren County, Kentucky, being the properly recorded in the deed book 1197, page 668, in deed book 1197, 603, and in deed book 1207, page 365, having the assigned property valuation administrator numbers 061A69, 072A02, and 072A03 respectively, and with a current address of 1188 Mizpah Road, Bowling Green, Kentucky. The project consists of the economic development with the construction, acquisition, installation, maintenance, operation, and/or financing of an intermodal center, including infrastructure development, including but not limited to roads, railway access, and utilities suitable for industrial commercial use, located with the proposed local development area known as the Warren County Development Area Number 7. A copy of the legal description and survey of the tract of land are available for inspection at the office of the Warren County Fiscal Court Clerk during regular business hours. And first of all, Mr. Johnson, everyone recognized that this was your document. Since the heading itself was so long, I could hardly read it. So maybe you could tell us if this is any kind of concern for fiscal court in regard to financial obligations or otherwise, or maybe you could just give me a quick summary so everyone understands it. Can't hear Gil Johnson. Are you on now? Appropriately so. I believe they have the sound out on you, Mr. Johnson.
Oh,
there we go. There we go. You're on now.
Why would you want to mute me? I don't understand.
I can't tell you. Wasn't me.
Now you're muted.
Oh, good. That's probably better.
Mr. Johnson, you need to turn your sound back on. I think you turned your sound off.
No, I can hear him.
Right, but he can't hear us.
Oh, he can't hear us. Oh, okay. Are you on now, Mr. Johnson?
I'm on now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you if you can hear me.
Okay. I'm sorry, Judge. Do you mind reading that notice again?
Yeah, right. I'm going to let you read it this time.
Oh, no, I just write them. No, this is a part of the continuing development in the Transpark area. It's comprised of, I think, what most people believe is the Wilson property, and located on that property will be at least a new company, Ball Metal Beverage Container Corporation. So it is, and they're expecting us to develop this as a TIF, local development TIF, and that's what this is comprised of. As far as economic development concerned and cost, which I think was your question, Judge, there is no cost to the county, and in fact, we're entitled to continue with whatever ad valorem tax and occupational fees in this particular area, pursuant to the interlocal agreement that we have with the city of Bowling Green, Kentucky. So in order to pursue the development for Ball Metal and any other company that desires to come into this area, we want to establish this as a local development TIF. It is identical to the ones 1 through 6 that we have previously established, and it is in compliance with the statute KRS 657047. I don't know if that answers your direct question, Judge.
No, I think that is pretty comprehensive. Anyone have any questions in regard to this?
I'm certainly Meredith can probably give us a better.
Ms. Rosansky, do you have any questions?
I think that Gil did a fine job and it was covered in his statement, so I won't take any more of your time.
Most of you recall, this is exactly what we've done on the first 6 stages of the Kentucky Transpark. And this is just the latest stage of what we just, the property that we just acquired and the financing that we just completed for the Transpark. So are there any questions, first of all, from any of the fiscal court members? Okay. Ms. Hale, do you have a list, or would you mind going ahead and calling the roll just to confirm all the magistrates who are on here, members of
There's only
fiscal?
2 of us on.
Pardon me?
There's only 2 of his magistrates that are on.
Well, that's
right now.
that's what I understand. That's what all I could see. Let's put it that way. Are there any other magistrates? I guess the other magistrates all felt like they understood this completely. This is a public hearing for the purpose of the general public, so.
If I could interrupt, Judge, that's correct. The purpose is to get any input or comment from the general public presented at the next meeting.
Okay.
I mean, the first reading second this morning.
Confirm. Oh, yeah, okay. Ms. Kohler? Anyone who's logged in here is on, right? I mean, everybody's on. Any member of the general public who is there anyone on here who would like to make comments or ask any questions about this? Okay, I think that's what we need. That's the purpose of the meeting. If there's no one on here I see we do also have Esquire Lawrence, Esquire Cummings, and Esquire Payne on here. No one else in the general public has any questions. We will adjourn this meeting. And is there someone? No, that's Bob. Okay. We'll adjourn this meeting and go into the regular court meeting in approximately 5 minutes. So if anyone needs to run any errands or make a quick phone call, do it quickly. This public hearing is now adjourned.
Sure.
Warren Fiscal Court, Monday, April 12th, 2021. It's now called to order. I want to welcome all of you all for this, to this, hopefully the last Zoom meeting. I think I told you all that May 26th would be our first in-person meeting. That was meant to be April 26th. So we'll be meeting in person, but they're going to test it out, but we're planning on having a hybrid meeting at the next meeting. Only the magistrates will be back in court that day, but we'll simultaneously be on Zoom as well for all of the department heads. Most of the department heads have shared that they actually are more productive in not having to come in here during the meetings. They can actually continue to get their work done and be available for questions on Zoom. And we don't believe that there is a significant reason to call them all back in here, the elected officials or department heads, at least at this moment. We're going to try this hybrid meeting beginning April 26th and hopefully transition back into a full meeting as soon as possible, as soon as everything stabilizes. Anyway, I want to ask Esquire Mark Young to lead us in prayer, and immediately after the prayer, I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for the pledge to the flag. Esquire Young.
Thank you, Judge. Please bow with me. Lord, we thank you so much for this beautiful springtime morning that you allowed us to wake up to. We see your awesome power in your creation, and especially this time of year when things are showing life, rebirth. We thank you for these things. God, we ask you to bless us this morning as we perform our duties as elected officials for this wonderful county. We pray, God, that we'll always think of others as we make the decisions that we make, but especially call on you and your guidance in making these decisions. God, we pray for our country and all of the leaders. They might also look to you for guidance. We thank you so much for Jesus, for the life he lived, the example he is for us, and for your word that guides us. God, we ask you now to forgive us for our sins. These things we ask in Christ's holy name. Amen. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Who is that guy with the shades on?
What's up, buddy?
Been to the eye doctor.
Oh, man.
All righty. Ms. Hale, will you please call the roll? Is Ms. Hale still with us?
Esquire McWhorter,
Here.
Esquire Lawrence,
Here.
Esquire Gorman,
Here.
Esquire Payne,
Here.
Esquire Young,
Here.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Okay. All righty. Item number 4 is to approve the minutes of the fiscal court meeting of March 19th, 2021. And I guess we need to go ahead and approve the minutes of the special call meeting as well. What was that date? Brenda?
Of the special call meeting.
Uh-huh.
Just a moment, let me look. March the 26th,
March 25th was a special call meeting.
26th,
26th.
What?
March the 26th,
I make a motion that we approve the meetings of March 19th and the special called meeting of March 26th.
Second,
by Squire
Squire
Lawrence.
Young.
Okay, that was a motion by Squire Gorman, second by Squire Lawrence. Okay, no questions, no additions or corrections. Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 5 is to approve the work schedule for the Warren County Road Department.
So move McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter,
Second, Squire Young.
second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Need to approve the personnel changes of Warren County.
So move, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young,
Second, by Squire Lawrence.
second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now, item number 7, for Gil Johnson's entertainment here, is to approve first reading of ordinance 2119, an ordinance number 2119, an ordinance of the Fiscal Court of the County of Warren, Kentucky relating to authorizing and establishing a local development area for economic and infrastructure development to be known as Warren County Development Area Number 7, designating the ITA working with the County Treasurer's Office as the agency responsible for the oversight, administration, and implementation of this ordinance, designation of a development board to act in an advisory capacity, authorizing the imposition of an occupational license tax, establishing a special fund, authorizing and approving a local development agreement, providing for periodic accounting and analysis, and authorizing such other actions as are necessary or required by the act with respect to the establishment of the Warren County Development Area Number 7. Did I leave
So
anything?
move, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young. Second?
Second, Gorman.
Second by Squire Gorman. Any questions? I know y'all already had an opportunity to ask questions during the public hearing this morning, but if there are any questions now? Okay, if there's no further questions or discussion, I don't see Mr. Johnson, or I see Mr. Johnson and Ms. Rosansky. Is there anything I left out or anything that you need to correct me on? Did I read it okay, Gil?
Well, it does kind of come to me, I think these things are a little bit too short. I need to lengthen them a little bit, so I'll correct that in the future.
All right, all right. Okay, no questions or further discussion. Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Okay. Item number 8 is to approve
Yes, ma'am.
resolution. Oh, okay. We got a delay there. I'm sorry, Squire Cumming. Item number 8 is to approve resolution 2106, adopting and approving the County Road Aid Cooperative Program contract between Warren County and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for the year beginning July 1st, 2021.
Motion
So
by
moved,
Squire
Gorman.
Payne. Second by Squire Lawrence.
Okay, I think it was a motion by Squire Payne and second by Squire Lawrence. Are there any questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 9 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2114, establishing Cedar Trail Avenue, McIntyre Street, the Sheldrake and Sheldrake Lane, located in McClellan Crossing subdivision as county roads and authorizing maintenance thereon and setting speed limits thereon.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second.
Second, Gorman.
Second by Squire Gorman. Discussion, questions? There being none, please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 10 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2115, establishing Windstar Avenue, Windstar Court, Windsor Court, Derby Hill Court, and Pinnaroll Lane, located in Windsor Trace Farms subdivision as county roads and authorizing maintenance thereon and setting speed limits thereon.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings,
Second by Squire Lawrence.
second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or question? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we need, item number 11 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2116, establishing Old Gap Street, Old Gap Court, Center Point Avenue, and Heritage Preserve Lane, located in the Heritage subdivision as county roads and authorizing maintenance thereon and setting speed limits thereon.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings,
Second by Young.
second by Squire Young. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 12 is to approve the February 2021 Treasurers Report.
So move, McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter. Second. Second by
Second, Gorman.
Squire
Gorman.
Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next item is to make part of the record the certificate of liability insurance for Arnold Consulting and Engineering Services, Inc., Pierce Manufacturing, Inc., and Sky Engineering, LLC. If there are no objections, it's hereby ordered to be entered into the record. Item number 14 is to approve first reading of ordinance 2117, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and McClellan Crossing.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yeah.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 15 is to approve first reading of ordinance 2118, rezoning property located at the corner of Cumberland Point Lane and Denver Lane from townhouse multifamily residential, single-family residential, single-family residential to single-family residential containing approximately .922 acres and presently owned by Carter Crossings LLC.
So move, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young,
Second by Squire Lawrence.
second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 16 is to grant executive authority to sign 2021 Kentucky Waste Tire Management Program Agreement.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by
Second
Squire,
Cummings.
second by, who was the second? I'm sorry.
Cummings.
Second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions?
Hey, Judge, this is Josh.
Yes, sir.
Just to make a note, I think this has got duplicated down on item 29 as well. There'll be some additional information about that further down the agenda, but it's the same one as 29.
Same one as 29.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So will we be doing the tires in June?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We got notification kind of last minute that the state was going to schedule us for a tire amnesty program this year.
Good.
So, yeah, that'll be taking place that first weekend in June. We can talk a little more about it later, but we're excited to get this one going again. Comes around every 3 years, and we weren't sure if we would get it again this year, but we will. So,
Salt barn?
yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
Judge, I'd like to thank everybody that was involved in this decision to grant us this pickup. I've had numerous phone calls about this program, and I just want to thank the state for allowing us to do that this year.
Well, I know everyone's going to be grateful for it because I get calls. I probably don't get as many calls as you do, but in regard to this, but I get calls about it pretty regularly as well. So, item number 16, we have a motion
And a second,
and a second,
yes.
and we're omitting item number 29 since it's a duplicate, correct?
Right, right.
Okay, all right. If there are no further questions, please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 17 is to approve the Warren County Parks Department applicant background check guidelines.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings.
Second, Squire Young.
I think that was second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 18 is to make part of the record the notice of decision of the state local debt officer for the lease agreement with the city of Bowling Green Intermodal Commerce and Distribution Center. If could get a motion to approve that, please.
Motion, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
If you all notice that every now and then, two or three of you will second a motion at the same time. I go by the one that lights up first, and sometimes one lights up and then another one halfway lights up. So if I'm ever wrong, I know none of you all will be concerned about calling me out on it.
I'd say the only one that lights up are the ones fitted to be Squire Lawrence.
Item number 19 is to accept the lowest and best bid from Double D Commercial Roofing in the amount of $123,800 for roof restoration at the Warren County Regional Jail. Only one other bid was received. This was the lowest and best bid.
So moved, Gorman.
Motion by Squire Gorman, second by
Squire Young.
Squire Young. Okay. Is there anything that's not in the packets here that we need to know about this, Mr. Markham?
None, sir. It's actually the same roof we put on the first section in the middle.
Right.
This will be over Class D. It's the same type roof.
Okay, good deal. All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 20 is to approve first reading of ordinance 2120, authorizing a lighting agreement between the Warren Rural Electric Corporation and McCoy Place Phase 5.
Motion, get a motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings.
Second, Gorman.
Second,
Squire
Squire
Young.
Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 21 is to grant judge executive authority to sign household hazardous waste grant application and all related documents.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Second, Squire.
Second by Squire Payne. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 22 is to approve the determination in the amount of $13,600 to Reynolds Sealing and Striping for sealing, striping, and crack fill at the hockey rink in Griffin Park, and this is that KPC pricing contract.
So, Madam Recorder.
Motion by Squire McWhorter.
Second by Lawrence.
Second by Squire Lawrence. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, item number 23 is to approve a determination in the amount of $3,240 to Reynolds Sealing and Striping for sealing, striping, and crack filling, crack fill the parking lot at the senior center at Ephraim White Park. This is also at price contract, KBC.
Motion from Squire Young,
Second by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Squire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Young,
yes, ma'am.
Squire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 24 is to approve the determination in the amount of $10,479 to Bluegrass Ball Fields for field armor panels, batters box, pitching mounds at Buchanan Park. There are 3 quotes received, and this is the lowest and best quote.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Lawrence,
Second from Squire Young,
second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Squire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Young,
yes, ma'am.
Squire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 25 is to approve the determination in the amount of $17,075.83 to Wright Equipment for the purchase of Gator for Buchanan Park. This is Sourcewell pricing contract.
So move Squire Young,
Motion by Squire Young. Second.
Second, Gorman.
Second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Squire McWhorter,
Yes.
Squire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Young,
yes, ma'am.
Squire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 26 is to approve the termination in the amount of $11,556.13 to Wright Implement for a new mower, Griffin Park, Sourcewell pricing contract.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Second by Squire Payne.
Second by Squire Payne. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Squire McWhorter,
Yes.
Squire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 27 is to approve exonerated refund for Bowling Green, Warren County Humane Society in the amount of $2,052.78 from the Warren County Sheriff's Department.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Lawrence,
Second, Cummings.
Payne.
second by Squire Payne. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Squire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next item is to approve the summary budget for the Warren County Extension Office for 21-22.
Motion by
So
Cummings.
Squire Young,
Okay, I think that was Squire Young. Motion, second by,
McWhorter.
second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Squire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Squire Young,
yes, ma'am.
Squire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and everyone recognizes that item number 29 has been omitted as it's a duplication of an earlier agenda item. Item number 30 is to grant Judge Executive authority to sign all documents for the 2020 Warren County Area Solid Waste Management Plan.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, I grant the commission.
Motion by Squire Lawrence and second
Squire Young.
Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 31 is to approve contingent use of contract laborers for waste tire event to be held June 3rd through 5th, 2021, and supplemental appropriations to Public Works Department from General Fund up to $200 per contract laborer.
So moved,
Motion by
Squire.
Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions?
Hey, Judge, it's Josh. Just to clarify, what we're doing here is just getting something in place in case we don't get DOC approval to use inmate labor for the tire amnesty weekend. We will more than likely try to staff it with current county staff, but if we do not have enough, this is to allow us to reach out to a TIP agency to hire some day labor for a few days. It usually takes somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 to 20 staff, and this would be a multi-day event, so we can just see some possibility of needing assistance outside the jail crew if we can't use them. So I'll work with Stephen once we get a little closer to time, but because this came up so last minute, we just wanted to be sure we had a plan B.
Okay. Does everyone understand that? Any questions? Mr. Moore? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 32 is to grant authority to advertise for the following. Number 2101, aggregate materials. Number 2102, emulsified asphalt. Number 2103, metal drainage pipe. 2104, signs. 2105, gasoline and fuel and diesel fuel. 2106, tree trimming services. 2107, bituminous asphalt for resurfacing roads. 2108, injection well services. 2109, engineer on call services. Do I have a motion?
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Lawrence to approve advertising for these items.
Second, Squire.
Second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 33 is to grant authority to advertise for stormwater crew operator, CDL driver, road department, CDL drivers, and 2 stormwater interns. These positions are just replacement positions of people who have either resigned or retired.
Motion, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young.
Second by Squire Lawrence.
Second, Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions?
Judge, just to add something to this, I think this agenda item covers it, but I'm not sure how much information was left to you in packets. But initially, we had 2 road department employees who have found work elsewhere. We had a stormwater crew member who'd found work elsewhere. And then this morning, I got notification that another road department employee is going to retire and will more than likely be leaving this week. So we're going to add a third road department employee to that hiring list as well. So I think we're going to go out and do our best to solicit applications, and we may get a pool of people to pick from.
Good. I wasn't aware of the additional one, but I think that's, I think if you can advertise and create a pool, it would be amazing in this labor environment, but particularly on CDL drivers, but we would welcome their applications and resumes.
Yeah, these CDL drivers, and I know you know this, but most of our CDL drivers not only drive trucks, but they're also asked to mow and do some other things as well. So we're going to work on a job description that maybe is a little more clear and get those sent out ASAP. So,
Okay.
thank you.
All righty.
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
so you know that one that resigned this morning is in your packet.
Oh, it is in here?
I just checked.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right, do we have a motion on this
And a second.
and a second?
Yes,
Any
sir.
other discussion or questions? Just call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number, let's see, where are we now? 35?
34,
34, approve the purchase of a compact track loader from Boyd Cat in the amount of $43,400. That's Sourcewell contract for White Park.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Lawrence,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 35 is to approve the annual fee to Tango Inc. for the radio cell phone interface in the amount of $2,730 for equipment description and subscriber fees.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings to approve,
Second, Squire Young.
second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to back up to number 34 there just a minute. I had a question I was wanting to ask Chris and I was distracted, but is this loader a replacement or is this something, a new piece of equipment new to the park?
No, sir. This is a replacement piece. We currently have a Bobcat skid steer loader, and it's been a good loader for us. However, most all the equipment that we're getting in now for ball field maintenance in regards to our pallets that we get, this Bobcat is a little bit lighter. The previous Bobcat, the new Bobcat's going to be a little bit heavier. It has a larger lifting capacity, also has a larger bucket capacity, so that we can move around more material. And we were able to get a good trade-in on it, so we wanted to try to move forward with it.
I was wondering if we did trade.
Yep, we did.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Good question. Any other questions, discussion? Let's call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah,
Esquire
we already
Payne,
got that.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Is this for 35, right?
That was for 35, yeah. We'd already voted on 34. He just had a question, go back.
Sorry for the confusion.
That's okay. It's a little out of order, but we'll always take your questions, Squire Young.
Thank you.
Item number 36, grant judge executive authority to sign a Kentucky Search and Rescue Grant for Warren County Technical Rescue Team. They were awarded a $1,724.80 grant for the purchase of rescue dry suits.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Quarter.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by
McWhorter.
Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Let's call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 37 is to approve first reading of ordinance 2121, rezoning property located at 0 Mount Olivet Road, bounded by Penner Road and Plum Springs Road, from agriculture to single-family residential containing approximately 14.662 acres and presently owned by J. Allen Builders, Inc.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Lawrence. Second.
Second. Squire Young.
Second by Squire Young. Any questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 38 is to approve the 211 report for March 2021.
So moved, Gorman.
Second, Cummings.
Motion by Squire Gorman, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or question? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 39 is to approve emergency determination in the amount of $4,789.23 to Tri-State International Trucks for repairs to the 2015 International 7400 dump truck.
So move, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young. Second.
Second by Squire Lawrence.
Second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or question? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 40 is to approve interfund transfers for Warren County.
So moved, McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter. Second.
Second by
Squire
Squire
Young.
Lawrence.
Second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 41 is to approve the purchase of equipment in the new tennis multipurpose sports facility from Active Sports in the amount of $31,751.71 at the Kentucky State Price Contract.
So move, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young,
Second by Cummings.
second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 42 is to approve the renewal contract for the Kentucky Mountain Bike Association for the development of dual slalom and skills course at Weldon Peak Park.
So moved, McWhorter.
Motion by Squire
Second by Squire
McWhorter,
Lawrence.
second by Squire Lawrence. Any discussion or questions?
Chris, how long a contract is this for?
Right here, Stuart.
This contract, I believe, is 36 months, Ron, and it's an extension of the existing contract. They're currently working on a grant application to cover all the construction and design work. There would be a match in regards to dirt for the project, and we're working with Jennifer Schmidt in regards to finalize that grant. And it would be basically between a $2,500 to $5,000 commitment for the dirt that would be needed for the dual slalom section.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 43 is to approve the lease with Enterprise to lease a F-350 Ford truck and F-150 Ford truck at a cost of $940.83 a month, and grant Meyer truck and equipment permission to outfit warning equipment in the amount of $11,425 and $1,225 as part of the existing.
Colton Crump or Colton Go Phone. Colton Crump.
This is part of the existing Enterprise Fleet Program to ensure vehicles are interstate highway safe.
Hey, Judge, I'd just like to add what's on the agenda. It's actually, it covers two vehicles. The F-350 cost per month would be $940.83.
Yes.
And then the F-150 truck, which is not on that agenda, item 43, it would be $542.65 per monthly lease. And then there's an outstanding dump truck, that a landscape truck that is not included. That would finalize the third vehicle for this crew, and we're hoping to have that on the agenda at the next court meeting.
Okay, now, is this part of the Beautify 65 equipment?
Yes, sir. This will complete all the equipment for the Beautify 65 crew. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, this will, of course, be split with the city of Bowling Green, so.
I have two questions, Chris. Is this cost then half of it to us, or is this our part of the cost of the two leases? So I know we're supposed to split this with the city. Is this our half, or is this the total cost?
Off the top of my head, Ron, I believe that the city's contribution, and Greg can kind of verify this, I believe is around $45,000 to $50,000 per year for the crew. And so I believe this would be part of that cost. I know that we absorbed the equipment cost of several of the mowers, and then also several of the hand tools, the $8,000 quote that we had discussed at the last court meeting that was approved for all the hand equipment that will go into the trailer. That was absorbed by the department, and then we're currently seeking 4 employees, 1 supervisory foreman, and then 3 landscape specialists. And we're still in the process of trying to staff up that crew.
Second question was, how long the lease is this?
These leases are 5-year leases, Ron, on all 3 pieces. The dump truck will be on the same term, 5 years.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Okay. No further questions, please call the roll.
I've got to go to work.
We need a
Pardon?
motion and a second.
Okay. All right, we got out of order there again.
Motion by Squire
We have a
Lawrence.
motion by Squire Lawrence and a second by Squire McWhorter.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, we need to approve the claims. The treasurer, please present the claims to court.
General fund, $1,204,618. Road fund, $184,273. Jail Fund, $551,396. Stormwater Fund, $136,474. LGA Fund, $11,250. And Grant Fund, $200,000. Be happy to answer any questions.
Make a motion, we pay the claims as submitted.
Okay, a motion by Squire Young to pay the claims as submitted, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Let's call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Before we get started with the department head comments or report, I wanted to, first of all, wish Deputy Judge Executive Marie Smith a happy birthday a few days late. She's had her 29th birthday on April 6th. Esquire Tom Lawrence had his 69th birthday on April 11th. Is that right, Esquire Lawrence?
That's exactly right, Judge, just yesterday.
And on April 14th, Amy Hale Milliken is going to be 26.
Something like that.
Something like
Tell you what,
that.
April is a good year for people, I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely.
Well, happy birthday to all three of y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, Judge, don't forget, yesterday was also Chris Coomer's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Coomer, yes, Chris Coomer turned 36.
75.
How old?
I'm 22, Judge.
22,
Everything's going
okay.
good. 22,
Well,
sir. Yes, sir.
No, they ain't, if you're 22, they ain't good.
We may as well all be liars.
Maybe it's 26.
Well, I'm tickled to death that you all have had another birthday, and wish you all many, many, many more.
Thank you.
Sheriff Hightower.
Judge, I'm all good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Ms. Yates, I saw you
Good
on
morning,
there.
Judge.
Good morning. How are you?
Everybody.
Doing great, doing great. How are you?
Good, good. It's all good in the clerk's office, and happy birthday to everybody that has April birthday.
Lynette has an April birthday. It's July.
What's your birthday, Lynette?
Is it July?
July the 3rd.
July the 3rd.
Firecracker baby.
That's right.
Almost.
Yeah.
We all get to say yes to Yates on July 3rd.
Thank you. Put that in your notes.
All righty. Jailer Herman could not be with us today. He's experiencing a shortage of personnel, and they're very busy at the jail. So he's doing double duty and trying to restaff some of his losses at the jail. Mr. Comer?
Thank you, Judge.
Happy
Things are good at
birthday
the park.
again.
Thanks, sir.
Mr. Moore?
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Pearson, are you on here? Mr. Puckett, are you on here? Is anyone? Travis?
Ronnie's on, he's muted, I think.
Ronnie's on but muted?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. We're in good shape today.
All right, well, good to see you, Ronnie.
Thank you,
You're looking good.
Thank you, sir.
Is Mr. Loving on here? All right. Susan Oliver Lewis is on here with us today. This is her first official time on here. We're glad to have you with us, Ms. Lewis.
Thank you.
Is there anything you need to share with us? Any problems, or is everything going perfect?
Well, we're doing good. I don't know perfect, but we're doing good up here. I do want to say that starting today,
We will have the homestead and disability exemption applications available online. So those who are either over 65 years of age and own and occupy their home, or if they're 100% disabled, they will be able to go on from our website and fill out an application from there with supporting documentation of a driver's license or your eligibility letter. So they won't have to come in anymore. They'll be able to submit them encrypted through our website.
Good deal. Well, I know everything's going well. Glad to have you aboard.
Thank you. Good to be aboard.
Mr. Appling?
Just busy, but everything going good, Judge. Thank you.
Good deal. Thanks, Bob. Mr. Peterson, are you on here?
I'm here.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Judge.
Good to see you.
Almost clean shaven.
Almost.
Mr. Markham? Mr. Markham?
Thank you, Judge. All good here.
All right, sir. Okay, Ms. Milliken?
Thank you. All good.
Mr. Burrell?
Thank you, Judge.
Deputy Judge Smith?
Thank you, Judge.
Clerk Hale?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Squire McWhorter, you have anything?
No, sir, just enjoying the beautiful weather. Thank you.
Good deal. Squire Lawrence?
Yeah, Judge, I'd just like to thank everybody for all the happy birthday wishes and everything. It's awesome to be able to work with such a good group of people and everything. I really appreciate it a lot myself, I promise you that.
Happy birthday, pal. Squire Gorman?
Judge, want to welcome Susan Lewis for our first meeting, and if you need help, Judge, on opening the computer and figuring out how to do that homestead exemption, I'll help you through that. You way more than qualify for that.
Thank you.
But hey, why don't everyone today, when they're driving around, take a moment and look at the beauty that surrounds us with all of the trees in bloom and the flowers in bloom, and take just a moment. And sometimes we have things going on in our lives, but take a moment to take advantage of God's beauty that surrounds us each and every day. I hope everyone has a great week today.
Thank you, sir. Squire Payne?
Judge, just like to wish everybody a happy birthday. There's too many of them to name.
Thank you, sir. Squire Young?
Thank you, Judge. Just want to pass along a little information about Jerry Young. As everybody knows, is recovering from hip replacement surgery. Talked to one of the family members. Jerry is now in Sky in rehab, and he is doing better. So we'll continue to have Jerry in our prayers and that family. Hope he gets back to his normal walks soon.
We all do. Squire Cummings?
Thank you, Judge. Just again, reiterate happy birthdays to all the ones celebrating, especially Miss Marie Smith. She is the most special lady on this screen today. One thing I will bring up without trying to throw anybody under the bus, I know many months ago, we advertised for human resources director, and I've yet to see any activity or any movement on that. And I'd like to know where we stand, because I know we voted for it, approved it, advertised for it, and nothing's happened.
Well, it's been happening, but you want to tell us where we are, Mr. Burrell?
Yes, Esquire Cummings, we have started the interview process. I actually met with one last week. So we are starting to move forward.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other business to be brought before this body? If not, we'll meet again here in the courtroom for the magistrates, and all department heads will continue to meet on Zoom for the time being. We'll meet here Monday, April 26th at 9 a.m. Have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Squire Lawrence.
Motion to adjourn by Squire Lawrence, second by
McWhorter.
Squire McWhorter. Thank you all.